So to make your chicken stock, which is the first stage of risotto, you need to get your frozen chicken carcass and add it to your saucepan. So pour it straight in the whole. Next, you need to add your flavourings to the stock. So these are any vegetables that you are wanting to add the flavour to your chicken stock. So you need at least 1 garlic. You can just roughly cut it. It really doesn't have to be perfect because all we're doing is flavour in the water. Then on your ingredients list was 1 carrot. So as you can see, this is super bendy carrot. So any of your vegetables that you've got in the fridge that are going off or not quite great for eating, you can use to actually flavour your chicken stock. So ask your mums or dads or maids or nannies if there's anything else in the fridge that they're going to throw away in the next few days, and then you can add that to your chicken stock to add the flavour. So I've just roughly chopped up my carrot there. I actually found 2 bendy carrots at the bottom of my fridge, so I'm going to add 2 in. The recipe that I gave you only needs 1, so no rush. And if you've got other ingredients, so for example your carrot is perfectly fine for eating, but you've got other ingredients or other vegetables in the fridge that are going off, feel free to keep the carrot to actually eat later and use some of those vegetables that are going off. Also, an onion, and again it's just used to flavour the water. So it doesn't have to be perfectly cut. You do need to get the skin off because obviously that's what contains dirt and mud quite often. So we'll take that off. And then I'm just going to roughly chop the onion and add it in. Again, it doesn't need to be perfect because we're just flavouring the water. So I'm just going to take off both ends, cut it in half, cut it in half again, just to add flavour to the stock. So I'm going to repeat the same for the other half of my onion. So again, if you've got an onion that's a bit soft, not looking so great as other onions in your fridge, perfect opportunity to use it because we're not actually going to eat these vegetables, they're just going to flavour the water. So we have flavoured stock for our risotto. Okay, so in your saucepan you should have your chicken and any vegetables you're going to use in order to flavour your stock. So next we need to add some boiling water. So I've just boiled the kettle and I've poured water into my measuring jug. You need about 1 litre of boiling water. If you don't have a measuring jug, quite often kettles down the side of them, they say they have the different measurements. You need about 1 litre. And if you don't have a kettle, you can just boil up, you can just put cold water straight into your stock saucepan, 1 litre, and it will obviously boil as you heat it. So I'm going to pour that in. If you've got any herbs you want to add in at home, so if you've got some dried oregano or rosemary or thyme, you can add those in as well just to add some more flavour to your chicken stock. And then we're going to boil this on a medium heat, and we're just going to have it in the background just gently bubbling and making sure all of those vegetables and that chicken carcass is infusing into the water, so making the water turn into a chicken stock. So your stock has been boiling for at least 30 minutes. The longer you can boil it for, the better stock you'll get, the more flavour it'll have. So at least 30 minutes. You're going to need to have a bowl to capture your stock. Put your colander over the top, and then you can pour in your stock that you have been boiling for all this time. So it's the liquid that we're trying to keep. We don't want any of this. This was just to add flavour. So make sure you get all of the liquid out, and then underneath is your fresh stock, and then you can transfer that into a measuring jug. For the risotto recipe, ideally you want around 800 millilitres of water. So if your stock doesn't quite go that far, you can just top it up with some boiling water.